Yeah, that's unfortunate.
let's start out with the topic. Okay, so we've
Yeah, I'll let you go.
it's this week. I'll introduce the first topic. As WWE have moved Cody Rhodes away from the Universal title picture and into a feud with Brock Lesnar, and Bad Bunny is in a high-profile feud with Damian Priest in the Judgment Day. We also had a surprise announcement that they will be adding a new World Heavyweight title, and that title will be the main title on the brand where Roman Reigns is not drafted to. So before let's take a look at the title for a second. I have a picture right here.
Yeah, let's take a look at this thing. Let's take a look at this thing.
There it is.
Right.
I
It's
guess.
not. I mean, it is what it is. It's not terrible looking.
I don't.
It's okay. It's kind of plain.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know. Well, listen, before I give my opinion about it, let's start with you guys, my guests, the great Vlad. Whoever wants to go first out of you two, Vlad or Robert, I'll let you guys decide. You guys have any thoughts about them splitting up the titles again?
Robert, did you want to go
Oh,
first, or I can go first? It's up to
sure.
you.
So my initial reaction was, hey, that's cool, because Triple H, when he announced it, he did kind of let's say diss Roman Reigns. Sort of. He said that you will now have a champion that's not like a part timer. In essence, that's what he said.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing that we would have a world champion that's not just around, every now and then. Because I don't think he's gonna be in Backlash. He's not, right?
No.
Pretty sure. So yeah, so that brings up a good point. A world champion that's actually going to be around for the most part. So, but that was my initial reaction. I actually liked it at the very beginning, but then I thought about it some more. It it made me wonder if this was already planned before WrestleMania, or did they just come up with this as a reaction to all the hate from the result of Cody losing the WrestleMania match? I'm not quite sure, but if they did plan it beforehand, I guess the result in WrestleMania makes a little bit more sense, but I don't think they made the right call ultimately. I still think Cody should have won it at the end, but I guess it would have made more sense that, it does now in retrospect if that was planned prior. But I don't know. Um, I'm still okay with it. I guess that there's a new championship belt that's gonna be separate from what Roman having. I don't have anything too negative to say about it.
All right, all right. Let's hear what Vlad has to think. Vlad, what did you think? Come on, what was your first gut reaction to this?
Uh, just disappointment, of course, because there should be one champion in a company. That's the way it's always been, and that's what's the way it should be. Okay, and this is to be a secondary title because Roman is the champion. Nobody cares about this belt. Okay, it's secondary. It's like back in the day when when there was an intercontinental champion, and that was a mid card championship, which is fine. But that's what this is going to end up being. It's a secondary belt. You want to have one champion in your company. The guy that, not two brand splits. All this stuff is nonsense. This is all creation from that they created, and it never works, and it's never interesting. They don't have a deep enough roster where they can split the brands. There's like 8 guys in this whole company that are interesting. What are we splitting? It's nonsense. It's nonsensical. It's cuckoo. It's cuckoo. A secondary champion, another champion, a fighting champion. You have the best wrestler in the world. That's your champion. Okay, I'm sorry. He's been the best. He's been the best for a while. So
I agree with
all this
that.
all this talk is just insane. Like a secondary champion. I mean, if they want to do it, okay. It's just not a good idea, and it's never worked out in the past. It's never been interesting to have two champions. I've never liked that idea. One company, one title, one world champion. That's the way it should be. But well, and maybe because it's modern wrestling and everybody just needs to have a belt. But I'm not. I don't. I think Less belts, the better. The less belts, the better.
Yeah, there are a lot of belts already. All right, I want to go off on a rant now. I want to do it because to me this I agreed with Vlad. Disappointing immediately. Very very disappointed. Sad as hell. I'll tell you why. Because I think to me this officially puts the nail in the coffin in the Cody Rhodes storyline that I told you he was never going to win the title. Now, even if he wins one of these two titles, he's not winning the undisputed title from Roman Reigns. That was supposed to be the cool thing that he did to win the world title. Now he's going to win maybe one of them, if he does. Okay, so that's number one. Secondly, to me, I think this buries the entire roster because nobody could come up with a way to beat Roman Reigns. He had 3 guys who help him, Solo and the Usos, and nobody could come up with allies or something to even up the numbers game. And then in the end, we just give up. Well, no one's gonna win the title from Roman, so let's just make a second one because he's gonna be the champ.
Oh, yeah.
So I think this buries everybody. And my third point, another thing, I think this buries Roman Reigns too, because now when he's gonna be only champion of half the company. He's not the undisputed champion anymore. And he's going to have to be satisfied with, I'm only, one of the champions now. Again, like if he's really the man, he should be like, no, I want that championship too. I'm going to go there and get that. So, and on top of everything else, I will say yes. I agree with Vlad that having two world champions in a company is kind of ridiculous. How are they the champion? They're not the champion. There's 2 champions. So, okay. That's what I have to say. If anyone has anything else to add, I'll conclude that segment and we can move on. But
yeah, let's move on because I think I think all our points are clear and concise. I mean, they've done it before. It's never good and it's never interesting. So why go back to it? Everything was going well with Roman as the Universal Champion, and it'd be fine if somebody else was the Universal Champion. So why even do this? I don't know. I don't like it for all the reasons you and I have just said. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe you'll be proven wrong, but I doubt
Robert did bring up the one good point that I think is the one argument against it, because at least there'll be a fighting champion now, right? I guess that's the one thing.
So when you mentioned, that this buries everyone, that point, like I never thought of it that way, and I probably agree with that. But then you mentioned this also buries Roman Reigns. I actually don't think so, because I feel like this makes him still look good, because since no one could take the belt off of him, they had to create another title to fight over. So on that third point about Roman Reigns being buried, I don't agree with. But the other point about the others getting buried, I can agree with that.
All right, well, listen, this news about the New World title split, to me, it's just the continuation of the whole disappointment from Cody Rhodes and WrestleMania. It's so depressing that it makes me want to reach for the bottom.
What are we advertising?
And that was a disappointing result. And you're hearing this from a very big Roman Reigns fan. I'm a huge Roman fan, but I still thought the result wasn't right.
Well, I don't know about you, Robert, but this whole thing, it makes me want to reach for the bottle, the strong stuff, and
the strong stuff. All right.
The strong stuff. To me, Night Train.
It's not the bottle. Oh. Night Train.
Night Train.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever had that before.
What is Night Train, Kayla? Educate us.
You know what? I don't know if I want to find that.
Night Train. Very affordable, good quality wine. Do you want to leave this terrible reality for a little while? Forget that there's a world with a WWE brand split, at least for the night. Get on the Night Train. Bottoms up. Night Train. You'll love that stuff. Night Train.
That's for the song.
You can never get enough.
That makes sense now.
Night Train.
You make some very good plugs for various items.
Well,
Electrolyte, now this.
Yes.
Yeah, this is his best one yet.
Get ready to crash and burn, baby. You'll never learn riding the night train. So you guys haven't ridden the night train, huh? Robert's never had it. Vlad's never
I've
had
never
it.
even heard of it. I've never even heard of it.
It's like MD 2020. You know, it's like really cheap wine. Like it would be like the cheapest thing you could get at the liquor store back in the day. So this was it would just mess you up, give you the spins, black you out, and send you to the next day. Send you to tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. as you drink a cup of that.
All right.
I got it.
Listen, let me cut the tape off. We'll start another segment.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Okay.